John Howard, the legend, John Howard, Master Olympian, Ironman, set the land speed world record on a bicycle at the Utah Salt Flats. One of the greatest athletes of all time. Has been taking Phoenix Nutritionals products for over 23 years. This video is about his new book, The Black Cyclone. Incredible. I haven't had time to get through the whole thing yet. I've skimmed around a little bit. It's a book about the world's first African American athlete, basically, Major Taylor. Incredible story, perseverance, overcoming. I suggest you go get it. I'll put a link in the description. I'll put a picture up too, so you can see it. John Howard is an inspiration in himself. This book he wrote about this guy, incredible book about an inspiration. I've known John Howard, met him. Dr. Whiting has known him for a really long time, and it's just he's an incredible guy. He helped me when I was having. I've been skateboarding for a really long time, and he helped me understand the reason I was getting cramps in my calves and my chest and my shoulders. We broke it down that I was drinking too much water, and he straightened me out on what electrolytes are and what it does. And lo and behold, I followed what he said, and no more cramps. I was drinking too much water. Imagine that. I was drinking too much water, and he straightened me out on it and told me how to fix myself. Definitely go pick up his new book. It's called The Black Cyclone. I think it's already a #1 book on Amazon. He's been taking our products, Phoenix Nutritionals products, for the 23 years we've been around. How did you first meet him?
It was interesting. I was consulting for a network company, and somehow or another they had contracted with him to be a spokesperson. And so then, obviously, being a high-level athlete, he was interested in performance.
Yeah.
And he also knows and knew then that nutrition was the key to performance.
Yeah.
And so we started to work together, and he began taking the formulas that I developed and so forth. And a couple of times over must be 30 years now that I've known John, a couple of times he suffered some injuries, some training injuries. He took a bicycle accident, and he was getting ready to train for a major cycling race in Europe. And so he called me up and he said, I've got this injury and this one, and I've torn this, I've scraped that. And he said, you got to get me fixed so I can get back in training. And I've only got 4 weeks to get recovered. And the doctor said it's going to be at least 8 to 10.
Wow.
So we put him on very large doses of organic trace minerals.
Yeah.
And that helped to accelerate the healing from the strains and sprains and everything else he managed to acquire. And bottom line was, he was back training in 4 weeks.
And so many athletes have found our products, through him and used the minerals. Explain a little bit about what those minerals do.
Well, they are bioelectrical in nature, and every cell of your body is a bioelectrical organism. And so when you nourish the electrical circuitry of the body, everything accelerates. Healing accelerates, recovery accelerates, immune system improves, a whole host of things begin to change because you're actually feeding the electrical circuitry of the body. What most people fail to realize is that your body is an electrical machine. It generates 1.5 volts of electricity 24 hours a day.
And that's because your heart does that.
Your heart uses that. Your nervous system uses that electricity. But the electricity comes from the interaction of trace elements across a fluid.
Okay. That's just incredible. We're going to try to have him on an upcoming podcast, hopefully.
Yeah, that would be good. And then he can really go in more detail about his book too.
Yeah, and he can go into more detail about, how Phoenix Nutritionals products has really impacted him and all that, and maybe go.
Well, he insists when he takes on a student, he insists that they take the product.
Yeah. I think that's a testament right there to it.
So, because he knows what it's done for him. What is John now? 75, 76, something like that.
Yeah.
And he's not racing and competing anymore, but he's very active. He's teaching. He's got multiple students. He travels. He's written a new book. He still cycles for the fun of it. And he attributes it to lifelong of proper training and good nutrition.
Just incredible. Yeah, check out his new book if you get a chance. I'll put a link down below in the description. Definitely go get that book and subscribe, because we're more than likely going to have him on an upcoming podcast, probably a video too. Well, we've had him in the past multiple times, and he's just an incredible inspiration, and we just want to tell him that we really appreciate him and being such an inspiration to all athletes, really. And this new book kind of highlights, the kind of work that he does. Amazing athletes is what other amazing athletes are surrounded by usually.
That's right.
So.